Welcome to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Faces, issue 28, Birth. On the cover, we see Zielkev standing in her full glory in the center of the chalk circle. Crumpled at her feet, we see Faye. We turn the page and our story begins. We turn the page and we get a panel of the containment room. Faye, have you give me a description of what that looks like?
It's this stone masoned room with candles around the outside, and on every single stone is inscribed a rune. Every rune is different, which, God, those poor fucking artists. And it's like pretty dim. When I say it's a masoned room, it's like set into the wall and three sides of it are cut out, but like there's a open front facing side. So like someone could be inside there and you could talk to them. Think very like prison, like glass prison wall style.
And then we have like the chalked circle in the middle of this room. How is this an elaborate thing or is it just a simple chalk circle?
It's very elaborate. It is probably about 25 feet across. It takes up almost the entire space of this room. And in like every single open space, there is inscribed like some sort of rune or word or symbol or item. It is very, very intricate.
Cool. And I think everyone is here. I think we've got Faye standing like right outside of this chalk circle. Where is everyone else in this scene?
Ryder's standing right next to Faye, waiting on her to enter the... Wait, did Faye enter the chalk circle yet? No.
No, I'm standing right outside it.
Yeah, Ryder will be standing right beside Faye, on her right.
I'll also be next to them.
I think I'm hovering above.
Excellent. And Supai is like leaning against the wall close to the entrance to the room. Faye, what do you do?
I'm going to turn to everyone and be like, wait for my signal, move when I tell you. If you see the chalk underneath her feet smudge, you can move.
I just put up a thumbs up and a real big grin.
I give a half-hearted thumbs up to Brian, and as we see me turn away, we get a tiny, tiny speech bubble that's like, wait, who is that? And then I like turn back, give everyone one last look, and step into the circle.
Would you like to give me a few panels of what the beginning of this ritual looked like?
Yeah, so I'm in the chalk circle, and I have my flail with me, and I reach down with like one of the spikes on the end of the like the ball part of the flail, and using that demonic metal, which as I'm holding it, you can see like it burning my fingers. Like it's still like, if I'm not touching the leather part, it still burns. We see me like cut a pattern into my hand and then just squeeze the blood, and the blood drips down into the very center of the circle.
The demon hand or the non-demon hand?
I think the demon hand. I think I'm using the person hand to cut the demon hand open.
Okay.
And then I start saying words in an unidentified language. It's not Latin. I don't even think the text is like English.
Yeah, they do that like comic book thing where it's just like a colored character at work.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we get a few panels of this, and then we see the like black Zielkev letters above Faye's head. Just, you're letting me out? I didn't think it'd be this easy. And then I think we get a panel of a close-up on Faye's demon arm, and it like jerks to the side, and as it moves, like Faye's human arm is coming out of the same, like the elbow as well. So we have both like the demon and Faye's arm coming out of the same joint. And I think the demon arm just grabs Faye by the throat. Faye, what do you do?
I immediately hold my human arm out, and like I'm still chanting the words, and like with my eyes like frantically being like, do not come into the circle right now. Like the signals are clearly like, do not follow. And then I think like all of a sudden the demon arm just goes limp. And I think Faye's body just starts like getting like racked with pain. And we see like, I like double over. And like when I come up, like my eyes are that like shattered glass look instead of like either the demon or the human. It's just like shatters of both. And I'm like shaking and jerking, and I start to like speak, and I'm like, it hurts. It hurts so bad. Please help. Carl, Ryder, help me, please. Supai, stop it. It hurts. Please just let it out. Please just stop it. And I don't know if they're reacting or not, but
Don't move, Carl.
Brian still has his thumb up, but he's retracting his arm slowly to make it not look rude.
It's up for a reason. I think. Oh man, I hope I don't fuck anything up doing anything. I'm so scared to do anything.
I mean, Ryder could provoke with the don't move, Carl.
Yeah, that could easily be a provoke.
I don't plan on moving though.
Oh, okay, then it wouldn't be a provoke.
Yeah. No,
Cool.
I'm thinking I'm thinking of making hive contact with Faye, and I think I want to make connection with Faye's mind and try to get her mind to be safe so she doesn't feel the pain that her body feels.
Okay. Yeah, I want you to roll to unleash your powers.
11.
We get a panel of Myriad pulsing. Then we get a panel inside Myriad's mind sanctuary. Does that look the same when it's Myriad?
Yeah, and I think Carl is there.
Okay. And I think we get a panel of just Carl and Faye. And I think Faye is looking fully human, but just curled in the fetal position, either crying or screaming out in pain. What do you think, Faye, at this point?
I think crying.
And before we continue, I'm going to cut away from this, but I am going to cut back. So we get that panel of the two of you there, and then we cut back to a panel of Faye's face with the split eyes. We are going to jump back into that in a bit. I just want to get more on the outside of this mind sanctuary first. Faye, I'm tossing the ball back into your court with that.
And I think like Faye is still like the body is still like crying, and we see like Faye's body getting like racked with sobs. And it's more of the like, Carl, please, Brian, somebody please help me. It hurts so bad. And the crying transforms into this monstrous laugh. And then the body like straightens up, and the demon arm like snaps to attention. And the voice coming out of Faye's body is still Faye's, but like it's clearly not Faye anymore. And the voice is like, oh, that was delicious. You should have seen your faces. I mean, honestly, if I could give an Oscar for an acting performance. But look at you, you're all so scared, so helpless. And then there's poor little Alana here. And the demon claw like runs across Alana's face, like tracing her jawline, and is like, so pure, so weak, so fragile. And the demon like claw like scratches across her cheeks and like slashes them open. And then she looks up and she's like, oh, poor Ryder, you look so sad. What, Felix, you thought you were going to be able to save her? You were going to be able to make this all better? You can't do anything. You're as dark as your father is. You're not a hero. You're a fraud. And speaking of frauds, and I turn to Brian and I'm like, what are you even doing here? You're not part of this team, Brian. Just some stupid kid tagging along in shit that he doesn't understand. You don't belong. She turns to Supai and she's like, and speaking of things that don't belong, look at you, the sad little sibling, the one who no one cares about, not even the people who made you. How does it feel to know that you're always going to be second best? That you're always going to be a failure? That you're always going to be an experiment gone wrong and never good enough for your parents? Oh, and now that I mentioned parents, you know what little Alana kept from you all? She let her mom be shot in the head to make this happen. If she was willing to sacrifice her mom, what makes you think that she's not willing to sacrifice every single one of you? And then I think, if I have my way, I think I want to cut into the Mind Sanctuary and hear the demon's voice booming in the Mind Sanctuary.
I would like you to roll to provoke Supai.
Cool. I do not have influence over Supai anymore, do I?
You do now. Okay, that's a 10. We get a panel of Supai and they like whip both arms to the side and these massive flame tentacles come out and they start running full force towards the circle. Brian, Ryder, which of you is closer to Supai?
That would be, I believe, Brian, but Ryder would also be probably close.
Brian, what do you do?
I've been waiting for something to attack her. If they're running in, he's running in.
Okay, so we get both Supai and Brian just darting towards the circle. Ryder, what are you doing?
I'm also letting that thumb go down.
Ryder steps in between them and says, "Not yet. It's not out of her yet. We have to let it get free. We step in too early, and she dies. So chill." That would probably definitely be provoking one of the two, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to that without at least the mechanics of provoke.
Go ahead and roll to provoke. I'm going to have this on both of them. If you have influence over either, just go ahead and take a +1. We'll just do it as one roll for...
Okay. All right. What if I have it over both of them?
Because I already pressed the button.
Provoke is superior?
Yep. That is a 13. We see Supai like kind of skid to a stop. And before we find out what Brian does, we're going to cut into the Mind Sanctuary. But Brian, you now have the carrot and the stick. So we'll jump
I'm
back
going to
to
be
a
taking a
second.
condition.
God, yes.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, okay, we're going to cut back. We're going to cut into the Mind Sanctuary.
What point are we cutting in? Is this like... Because I kind of want to... I'll just say what I was going to do. So I think in the Mind Sanctuary, so we have Carl, and then Faye appears and is in a little ball and is screaming and in pain. And I think Carl just walks over and just sits down and takes her hand and just sits there with her.
I'd like you to roll to comfort or support.
I've never done that. What stat is that? I could do this in a goofy manner and then I get to roll with my freak. Oh god, my mundane is not good. That's an 8.
That's an 8. So on a 7 to 9, they hear you. They can do the things if the things is things. And frankly, I'm not going to require much for opening up.
I think I just like clench onto Carl's hand and like pull myself up ever so slightly, and then look around the room and be like, "Where am I, Carl? Where is this?"
We're in my mind. It's safer here.
But what's happening? Did we stop her? Is she gone?
No, I think this is the point where we trust our friends.
I think I want to shift my freak up and my savior down.
Cool. That sounds like a perfect segue to jump back out. Do you all agree with that? Or do you want anything else in there for now?
No, I don't want to. I don't really want anything in the Mind Sanctuary per se.
Okay. Our next panel, we cut back out and we get a shot of Brian. In the background, we see more of Ziokev's limbs like breaking out of Faye's joints and kind of shedding Faye a bit. And Brian, what are you doing?
I am running up to them and unleashing that device that I just activated by putting my thumb down. I want to, or this is that other hold from the thing that the
love letter.
Right. So the first one, I had nanobots for flying. Well, guess what? I really got a thing for nanobots now. I want to unleash a swarm of nanobots to cover Faye's skin, the parts that are still human, to protect them. As I'm approaching the circle, I say, "Hey, Demon Girl, you and me actually have something in common. Neither of us were planning to let Alana call all the shots."
I don't know what you're gonna roll and stuff, but whatever you're gonna do, Myriad is going to roll to stop it. Just saying.
Fine with me.
Cool. Go ahead and roll to unleash.
But
that's a 3. So we get the panels of Brian running forward, and we see these nanobots just spread out in the cloud, and they press up against the edge of the chalk circle, and they're unable to get any further in. And we see them start like swirling and spinning around to the point the entire inside's view is occluded. And then we get a panel that's a close-up of the edge of the chalk, and we see it starting to blow away. There's a couple moments to react, though I think only Ryder will be quick enough to do so.
What Ryder wants to do, he's going to actually pull the coin out of his buckle. And I'm going to use my moment of truth and because I need this to happen this way.
You want to read that for us?
The moment is you prove how much the mantle belongs to you. You seize control of all your powers, and you defeat even impossible odds to prove you're worthy of the name you carry. You accomplish feats that even your predecessors could not do. After you prove something like that, there's still more. You can expect still more responsibilities to be placed upon your shoulder.
What's his look like?
So what he's going to do is he's going to look at Carl and look at Supai, and he's going to say, "We don't have long. Get in there." And then he's going to stand back. And he's going to put the coin in front of him, and he's going to channel every single bit of his morphing energy into the coin. And if Carl and Supai enter the ring that is now fading quickly, he's going to put a barrier up over. He's going to put a barrier of deity energy from the coin itself, God energy, over the room to prevent anything from leaving it. But he's stuck on the outside. He can't enter it.
Oof, I like that.
And that's going to be what he's doing now. Is he's holding he's using every bit of his morphing energy to hold this barrier shut.
What color is that new barrier?
The barrier is a bright gold.
And I think we get a panel with this like new gold barrier rider on the outside, just as the chalk blows away. The nanobots fly in and connect onto Faye's skin. But at this point, Zeokev is about 80% out of Faye. It's like they're sharing the same legs from the knees down. But the majority of Zeokev is manifested. And it looks a lot like Faye's demon form. We've got the white and pink demon, but just bigger and more. And I'm going to jump over to Myriad. What are you doing?
Well, what I was gonna do is basically like the baby version of what Ryder just did, so that's cool. I was planning on trying to stop Brian with a shield around it, so that's kind of cool that you got that in. I love it so much. So I'm going to, I think at this point, Myriad transforms into Golem, but it's like, it's a way more feral Golem than usual. Like there's no humanity there, or there's no apparent intelligence there. It's just so I turn on fire, and I'm going to charge my burn in a second, and I turn into a monstrous Golem form that storms into the. I assume there's like a door or an opening. Ryder, right?
Oh, before I did it, I made sure you two had a chance to get in.
Okay, so we're in. Oh, okay.
Everyone's on the inside except Ryder.
So I flame on fire, turn into a monstrous Golem.
Can I quickly add a thing?
Sure.
Whenever the barrier is completed, it forms like a infinite void within this deity area. So you guys have room to fight. We're not locked in a little room. It's just inside. It's bigger on the inside.
Sweet. I'll roll for my burn now. 7. So I get my burn, but I have to mark a condition, which is gonna be angry again, of course.
Okay, cool. And then we get in our next panel is Supai still with these flaming tentacle stepping up behind Golem. Asimov, what are those nanobots on Faye's skin doing?
Yeah, they're forming over the skin.
Is it like the transforms impenetrable armor kind of thing?
It's nanomachines, son.
So I think we get in the background of that panel, we see Zeokev take the final steps out of Faye's legs, and she flexes her whole body, and her like wings unfurl behind her, and she turns and snarls. And we see Faye like hit the ground, but her body cover in this like sheen of metal from the nanomachines. And I think we are entering battle against a dangerous foe.
Is it really dangerous though?
I think so. I mean, it can destroy the world. Who is the leader here?
Clearly not Alana.
Clearly not Ryder. He's on the outside.
Actually, I was going to say Ryder.
I was gonna say Ryder.
Okay, yeah, sure. Bullshit.
I think
Ryder's the first
for
person who had like a plan.
Is Ryder still able to call shots through the shield?
Ryder is not. Ryder can do nothing other than hold the barrier in place.
Then it's probably Carl or Myriad Gollum, whichever
Yeah,
one you
it's
are.
Myriad, it's Myriad Gollum.
I was gonna say, I think this is the one time where Carl is the leader.
Okay, cool. Carl, do you have influence over everyone? Or Myriad, do you have influence over everyone?
Probably not. Let me have a look. I have influence over Brian. I have influence over Ryder, but I don't have influence over Supai.
I'm going to go ahead and give you influence over Supai. I think they're fucking in it at this point. I think this whole team has influence over Supai at this point.
I did play Bearmount for them last time.
Yeah. Do you have influence over Asimov?
Yep.
Okay, so that is +1. Myriad, what is your purpose in the fight?
My purpose is to fuck up some demons.
Brian?
My purpose is to protect this new ally. But if fucking up some demons will help the world, that's a pretty good cause too.
Cool. Faye?
Oh, it's time to fucking kill a demon.
And Ryder.
I am kind of screwed in this situation.
Help people
My
fuck
purpose-
up demons?
Yeah, my purpose is to help people fuck up demons by holding
Cool.
holding
I'm
the
gonna-
barrier in place.
I'm going to give it to y'all. Does the team or any member mistrust the leader of the team?
No.
Nope, I'm
I
good.
don't mistrust Carl.
I think I was a little hesitant about Brian, but like I'm good now. Brian just saved my ass.
And I don't think you're ill prepared or off balance. So we have 5
The team.
team from that move. Wait, 4 team? 4 team. 4 more team from that move. So I think we had
So-
2 before.
We had 2, so it's 16 now.
Damn. All right. Cool. Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets and TP Huth, and edited by Anthony Sheets. Anthony can be found on Twitter at Icy New Year or at icynewyear.com. T is the host of Incubator on Air, a new play podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. She can be found at T Huth Playwright on Twitter or TPHuth94 on Instagram. Faces is GM by me, Anthony Sheets. Asimov is played by EXPHP. You probably won't find him at It's EXPHP on Twitter, but it's worth a try. Carl is played by Simon Meskins. You can find him on Twitter as Jill Bareka. Faye was played by T. Huth. Ryder Typhon is played by Kaido Kane. Kaido is a Twitch personality and loves their 3 mischievous cats. You can find them at The Versian on Twitter, and as Kaido Kane on Twitch.tv. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. The music in this issue is Black Vortex by Kevin MacLeod. A link to his website and the license will be in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on iTunes and tell a friend. Word of mouth and 5-star reviews are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out on patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus episodes each month. And thanks for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.